So before the break, we asked how much weight does the average father-to-be gain during his partner's pregnancy? And the answer is 6 kilograms.
That's right. A woman usually gains between 12 and 15 kilograms, which is 2 and a bit stone plus during pregnancy, while your average dad-to-be puts on nearly a stone, 6 kilograms of new money. We're in the final part of this morning's show. We're trying to find out if there's any such thing as Preg-man-cy. Larry, Huey and Rick's thoughts in a sec. Yours most welcome on the usual number. Now, as I mentioned earlier, around 80% of dads-to-be experience so-called sympathetic pregnancy, known as Couvard syndrome, from the French meaning to brood or hatch. These poor fellas...
I was hatched, by the way.
Yeah. These poor fellas experience everything from weird cravings to weight gain. Shut up, Kirsty. Show some real sympathy. Morning sickness and back pain. 1 in 4 claim they were only eating more, right, to make their wives and girlfriends feel better about their own ballooning weight. That's how nice we are. But how can you explain all the other symptoms? One academic, Dr. Arthur Brennan of London's Kingston University, believes dads-to-be undergo physiological changes when their other halves become pregnant. Dr. Brennan reckons men also experience raised levels of the mothering hormone prolactin. Not only that, but their testosterone levels fall away as the baby's birth approaches. So, do some fellas, experience Preg-man-cy? Now, I know that Huey and I don't know anything about this at all, do we?
No, not to my knowledge.
So I'm going to start with you again, Rick, if I may.
Oh, great.
Sympathetic? Did you come out in sympathy with the missus?
I think you've got to be sympathetic because, I mean, they're going through the physicality of it, not just the emotional thing of it, you know. Having said that, I think it obviously does emotionally affect dads.
Yeah.
You can't... There's also one thing I think that gets overlooked a lot with pregnancy is the fear of it. I know there's the joy of, oh, we're having a baby and all the rest of it, but you look at the person who you love and really care about and think, well, they're about to go through this, which can be, you know, a lot safer these days, but can be a life-threatening thing. And it's pretty terrifying. I mean, I had all the emotions you can possibly imagine when our daughter was born.
Did you find yourself developing a
I don't
belly?
know whether I probably put on a few pounds, but I was just being lazy, to be honest. I mean, it's like, no, but I think because we definitely were nesting at that time. We moved out to the countryside. We were going to go and we lived in Gloucestershire for a while, and that was definitely what we were going to do. We were going to be, you know, happy family out in the countryside, and that lasted about 18 months, and we moved back to London. But but we were nesting definitely, and I think in a way, yeah, I probably did put on a few pounds, but that's, as I say, due to laziness more than anything else. And also, it was around a time in my kind of music career where I was on the verge of giving everything up anyway, so I was just kind of thinking, well...
Ready to pull back a bit.
Whatever if I do, you know, I mean, so...
What about you, Larry? Do you notice it in men?
One of my exes did gain a lot of weight while I was pregnant, and the most hilarious bit was when I lost it afterwards and he didn't. And I remember I was so tempted to say, "What? Have you not had the baby yet?"
Well, fantastic.
Yes, there was a degree of glee. I think Rick's right. There's a degree for a lot of men of anxiety going on. The fear of the life changing, the relationship changing, the fear of responsibility. All of those completely understandable stuff that they often don't talk about, and therefore they might use food as a way to deal with that stress. But it's also the fact that if she's not drinking because she's pregnant, so you're not going out doing all that kind of, there's a lot of let's have a takeaway, let's sort of do it. So you both end up eating for two.
Okay,
really.
okay. Now, Eric has found a wonderful story from a lady in our audience. Eric,
we have indeed. Dolores, what's your tale?
Well, many years ago, when I used to be a pupil nurse, we came across a story of a man who lactated in sympathy with his pregnant wife.
Is this cross your heart, hope to die true?
Yes, start getting milk from his breast. Yes, in sympathy with the wife.
Did you ever try it? Taste it.
You'll taste it.
Well, no. Some lady who watched this show when Biggins was on sent us some of her breast milk for us to try live on air. And to this moment now, I can still remember the cloying, gagging sensation.
If my wife is watching...
Rick, you look like you're going to faint.
If my wife is watching, honey, please, I don't want to lactate. Please.
I can't believe it, Dolores. And did he produce much?
I don't know how much, but he
could do it?
Yes, he did have drippings.
That's just downright scary.
Thank you, Dolores. It is. And I think probably a good note to end proceedings on, I think. That is all we have time for you for this morning, I'm afraid. Many thanks for all your calls, emails and tweets, folks. Thank you for bearing with us on the phone front. And thank you to this guy, Rick. Congrats once again on the single.
Thank you.
Absolutely
Cheers.
brilliant.
Thanks.
It's called Lights Out. You can download it right now from our website. The address says coming up on screen any sec. Larry and Huey, another cracking show. Thank you very much for that. Ladies and gents, give it up for our Some of you want to know about live dates from Rick. All we know is they are going to happen. We don't know when.
I'm doing lots of gigs right through the summer.
OK, especially with Peter Kay, that's going to happen.